Hi, I'm Muhammed Hamdan and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. Speaker's decision to maintain 6 seats of 6 former Bersatu MPs aligns with legal principles. And JP Morgan upgrades Malaysia's reform rating from underweight to neutral. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has defended the decision of Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Johari Abdul not to vacate the seats of 6 former Bersatu members of Parliament, saying that it was done in accordance with the law. He said that Johari had thoroughly read and interpreted the relevant laws, and this should be clearly understood by the Bersatu Party leadership. Speaking to the media, Anwar pointed out that the Bersatu leadership needed to read the interpretation of the Federal Constitution's anti-hopping law in its entirety rather than selectively.
Saya tidak tahu mengapa dia pilih untuk baca sebahagian dan tinggal sebahagian. Tapi mungkin itu memang kaedah kerja politik Bersatu lah.
Anwar also reminded that the provision for elected representatives to automatically lose their seats if they were expelled from their respective party had to be dropped when the anti-hopping law was being formed due to Bersatu's objections.
Semasa itu, kami di pembangkang mau masukkan siapa yang dipecat itu automatik gugur. Ditentang oleh Bersatu ketika itu. Dan sebab itu dimasukkan dalam terkecuali. Jadi kena baca perlembagaan.
On Tuesday, the Dewan Rakyat Speaker decided that there are no vacancies of parliamentary seats involving the 6 MPs whose membership was revoked by Bersatu after declaring support for the unity government. They are Bukit Gantang MP Datuk Syed Hussein Hafiz Syed Abdul Fasal, Jeli MP Zahari Kecik, Kuala Kangsar MP Datuk Iskandar Zulkarnain Abdul Khalid, Tanjung Karang MP Datuk Dr. Zulkafli Hanapi, Labuan MP Datuk Suhaili Abdul Rahman and Gua Musang MP Muhammad Azizi Abu Naim. The 6 MPs were served with the notice of immediate termination of party membership on June 12th after failing to respond to a notice to confirm their loyalty to Bersatu. Now, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Johari Abdul on Thursday said that he's not changing his mind over his decision not to vacate the 6 parliamentary seats held by the 6 former Bersatu members. This after Bersatu Chief Whip Datuk Sri Ronald Kiandi, who is also Beluran MP, raised a Standing Order 99 of the Dewan Rakyat to seek clarification from Johari regarding his decision on the parliamentary seats.
Bahawa saya bukan postman. Okey. Bila saya menerima apa juga yang telah pun diberikan kepada saya, seperti yang telah pun disebutkan oleh Buletin tadi, saya akan memastikan. So saya study semua sekali. Malah saya baca semua kenyataan-kenyataan dalam pembinaan amendment yang dibuat tentang 49 itu. Jadi saya mengambil keputusan saya kekal seperti yang telah pun saya maklumkan kepada Buletin bahawa kekosongan tidak berlaku.
Meanwhile, the 6 former Bersatu MPs will continue serving as independent representatives following the Dewan Rakyat Speaker's decision that their seats need not be vacated. One of the 6, Labuan MP Datuk Suhaili Abdul Rahman, said they would continue serving their constituencies without joining any party.
Perkara 49A jelas. Kami tidak boleh menyertai mana-mana parti kerana dia akan trigger perkara 49A. Apa yang kami perjuangkan sehingga menyebabkan kami menjadi ahli parlimen bebas ialah peruntukan ahli parlimen untuk kami berkhidmat dan membantu rakyat di kawasan. Itu saja.
Regarding the seating arrangement of the 6 MPs in the Dewan Rakyat, Suhaili said that the matter will be decided by the Speaker. Elsewhere in Selangor, State Assembly Speaker Lau Weng San announced that there is no vacancy in the Selat Kelang state seat. In a statement on Thursday, Lau said there is insufficient evidence to confirm a casual vacancy at the state constituency, which is being held by Dato' Abdul Rashid Asari. He also said that the notice dated June 20th and received by the Speaker's office the following day, brought by Selangor opposition leader Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, does not meet the burden of proof required to demonstrate otherwise. Lau added that the decision is rooted in the interpretation of Article 65A of the Selangor State Constitution, which outlines the conditions under which a member of the Legislative Assembly ceases to hold their seat. Previously, Rashid was among the 7 Bersatu elected representatives whose membership was revoked by the party for declaring their support for the unity government. He was dismissed from Bersatu after expressing support for Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Amiruddin Syari's leadership. Moving on, investment banking group JP Morgan has upgraded Malaysia's rating from underweight to neutral after almost 6 years, crediting the country's policy reforms, data centres investments and infrastructure build-up. It noted that Malaysia's rapid pace of progress was impressive, with a 4.2% gross domestic product growth in the first quarter of this year, and that the country is back on investors' radar. According to JP Morgan, head of Asia-Pacific Equity Strategy, Rajiv Batra, Malaysia is progressing at a much stronger pace, with earnings growth tracking around 10 to 11%. He stated that foreign investors' perception on the country is also changing, with Malaysian equities seeing an inflow of new investments of about 941 million ringgit from April to June. He also highlighted that the government had taken some bold steps in cutting subsidies, including the recent one on diesel, while those in the lower income group will receive cash handouts to defray the cost of fuel. Businesses will also continue to enjoy the subsidy to ensure that they do not raise prices of consumer goods. Rajiv added that money saved on subsidies will be used for productive economic purposes, such as reskilling workers or to introduce the progressive wage policy. He also said the current government, which has been in power for 1.5 years, is walking the talk and gave the thumbs up for introducing reforms such as energy transition and the Madani economy budget.
10 tahun tragedi menyayat hati MH17 ditembak jatuh.
Romeo November Delta Malaysia 17.
Misi dapatkan kotak hitam di medan perang.
Fikiran tak ada lain, mungkin itu adalah ajal kita.
298 penumpang dan kru gugur.
So that is the time hit me the most. I cannot sleep.
Saksikan laporan khas memperingati sedekad MH17 di Buletin Utama TV3.
The Communications Ministry will present 3 recommendations to tackle cyberbullying at the Cabinet meeting on Friday. Its Minister Fahmi Fadil said this includes legal aspects, whether to enact a new act or amend existing laws to address the issue.
Informasi dan perubahan yang perlu kita lakukan. Ada 3 perkara yang saya akan bawa ke Jemaah Menteri dalam mesyuarat esok. Secara umumnya, saya boleh nyatakan, pertama adalah kita akan maklumkan kepada Jemaah Menteri tentang langkah perundangan yang boleh diambil sekarang.
Speaking in a special session with the media at the Parliament building on Thursday, Fahmi added that the definition of cyberbullying as well as administrative matters involving the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) and the police will also be discussed. The ministry will also launch an online safety roadshow to enhance public awareness and understanding about the adverse effects of the internet. The issue of cyberbullying came under the spotlight following the alleged suicide of social media influencer A. Rajaswari, better known as Esha, who was recently found dead in her apartment after receiving multiple threats from cyberbullies. Meanwhile, police have obtained a 4-day remand order against a 44-year-old lorry driver who is the second suspect allegedly linked to the cyberbullying incident. He was detained in Setapa at 6:03 p.m. on Wednesday to facilitate investigations into the case. On the same day, police said that they have obtained a remand extension for a female suspect who was arrested earlier in connection to the same case. Now, Communication and Multimedia Content Forum of Malaysia, CMCF, has highlighted the need to collectively eradicate online bullying, as well as promoting responsibility and respect in digital interactions. Its chairman, Rafiq Razali, said recent tragic incidents underscored the urgency in addressing escalating cyberbullying issues, which have resulted in profound real-world consequences, including mental health challenges, social isolation and loss of life. In a statement on Thursday, he stressed the importance of fostering empathetic online discourse, adding that society has a collective responsibility to ensure discussions about suicide focus on prevention and awareness, not victim blaming. Rafiq also said that social media platforms must continue improving their content moderation processes and explore AI-driven tools that detect harmful content in real time, potentially stopping cyberbullying before it escalates. He noted that all parties should also collaborate on educational campaigns that teach responsible online behavior, the consequences of cyberbullying, and the importance of empathy and respect in digital interactions. Statistics from the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) reveal that over 51,000 cases of harmful content circulated on social media and over-the-top platforms in the first quarter of this year. A total of 10 people have provided their statements to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) to assist its probe into a case relating to Human Resource Development Corporation (HRD Corp). MACC Investigation Division Senior Director Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hashim said the investigation is focusing on issues of corruption, abuse of power and misappropriation under the MACC Act. According to Hishamuddin, all 10 individuals from HRD Corp and the Human Resources Ministry had their statements taken since 10 a.m. on Thursday, after the process was postponed on Wednesday. On Tuesday, it was reported that an MACC investigation team had collected documents relating to the probe from the HRD Corp headquarters in Kuala Lumpur and Human Resources Ministry building in Putrajaya. The probe was initiated after the 2024 Auditor General's report released last week revealed that the management of HRD Corp did not comply with procedures and did not protect the interests necessary for achieving its objectives. The Public Accounts Committee (PAC) meanwhile disclosed that 3.77 billion ringgit from the levy collected by employers for the HRD Corp training program had been used in various high-risk investments. French leftist coalition demands keys to government. This and more from the Foreign Front when we return.
Hari pasal pagi, suruh pukul 5. Hanya bangun pagi, saya pakak bunga. Pokok bunga melutang tapi patah. Cik bertelur, ayam menetap.
Berpaut pada jalan cerita yang sama.
Dalam masa 3 bulan, korang kahwin.
No way.
Mana ada pengantin lari? Pengantin perempuan dah hilang.
Bukan jodoh kami berdua ni.
Menyatukan jiwa yang selama ini saling mencari.
Awak jangan nak kutuk-kutuk saya.
Kalau tak...
Yelah, tiada besar, baru awak nak kahwin balik.
Tapi tak jadi kan?
Pengantin pasti jadi. Khamis hingga Sabtu 9 malam. Terbaru di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Get ready, ladies. It's time to shatter the stereotypes. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smiles. This talk show is all about you. Catch Women Talk every Saturdays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Stream also on Tonton.
We're back with news from the Foreign Front. French left-wingers attacked President Emmanuel Macron on Thursday after he called for a broad coalition government, demanding that their movement alone should propose a prime minister. Socialist Party chief Olivier Faure accused Macron of failing to respect the vote of the French people, while Front's unbowed party leader Jean-Luc blasted the return of the royal veto. Meanwhile, CGT union leader Sophie Binet said Macron was in denial about the poll results and should appoint as Prime Minister whoever the new Popular Front NFP picks. In an open letter on Wednesday, Macron said no single party won the election, calling on parties to find common ground for a broad coalition. The president's letter appeared to rule out a rule for either Front's Unbowed Party or the far-right National Rally RN in the new coalition. United States President Joe Biden's teetering re-election campaign has plunged deeper into crisis amid a fresh wave of pressure from allies concerned about his age and fitness, with actor George Clooney and several top Democrats joining calls for him to step aside. Hollywood star Clooney, a Democrat who co-hosted a star-studded fundraiser for Biden last month, withdrew his support, with a damning opinion piece in the New York Times saying Biden was not the same man he was in 2020. Later on Wednesday, Democratic Senator Peter Walsh, who represents Vermont, became the first member of the chamber to call on Biden to quit the race. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has also declined to definitively back Biden's candidacy, saying he should make a decision about continuing in the race soon. Biden, however, has repeatedly dismissed calls to step aside since a faltering debate performance against his Republican rival Donald Trump. Indonesia's former agriculture minister was jailed for 10 years on Thursday after he was found guilty of misappropriating more than $900,000 of public funds. 69-year-old Syahrul Yassin Limpo was found guilty by a Jakarta court of ordering officials in his ministry to send him money from state coffers, some of which was used for his personal expenses. Judges found he had spent over $900,000 on personal expenses, including jewelry and beauty treatments for his wife. Thus, Syahrul was ordered to repay the funds or have his assets seized by the court. The judges also ordered the former minister to pay a $19,000 fine or face 4 months of additional jail time. The court also handed down 4-year prison sentences to 2 former high-ranking officials from the Agriculture Ministry in connection with Syahrul's case. Syahrul was the 6th minister in President Joko Widodo's cabinet to face corruption charge. An offshore earthquake with a magnitude of 7.1 struck Sultan Kudarat province in the southern Philippines on Thursday morning. According to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, the quake, which occurred at 10:13 a.m. local time, hit at a depth of 722 kilometers, about 133 kilometers southwest of Palembang. It was reported that the tremor was also felt in nearby provinces of Mindanao, the country's second-largest island. Although the tectonic quake will trigger aftershocks, the Institute said it will not cause damage, as the tremors were not anticipated to cause large waves. Colombia on track to clinch second Copa title. Sports after this breather.
Awak ni memang tak faham bahasa ke? Saya dah cakap dengan awak kan, jangan keluar suka-suka hati. Apa yang susah sangat nak dengar cakap? Awak memang suka lelaki lain tolong awak kan?
Fat memang nak tengok abang dengan Nela bercinta ke macam tu? Nela tu bukan level abang tau.
Kamu sayang ya Abang Noh.
Nasib baik tau. Kalau tak, bocor kepala tu macam mana?
Apalah, kalau bocor pun ada orang jaga.
Noh dan Naila, Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam di Akasia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Istimewa di MHI, dalam kesibukan mengejar kejayaan, kita harus imbangkan kehidupan dan kerjaya.
Gemar bersukan, ketahui kesannya terhadap jantung.
Tahap penguasaan bahasa Melayu semakin lemah, ketahui dan fahami Akta Bahasa Kebangsaan 1963.
Gaya hidup terkini, berkahwin tapi tak nak ada anak. Apakah implikasinya?
Bursa Malaysia mengalami penurunan, adakah ia berkaitan dengan ekonomi negara?
Segalanya dalam Malaysia hari ini, Isnin hingga Jumaat, juga stream melalui Tonton.
Bila lah dia ni nak aman. Nak kecil macam tu pun nak gaduh.
Kau pakai spek mata tapi tak nampak orang kan? Mata kau tak mana ni?
Kat mana ni?
Sorry lah. Saya luar hal tak letih tu.
Tapi dengan cara you drive kereta tadi, kalau berlakunya kemalangan kat jalan raya,
kawasan tu memang banyak jenayah.
Polis confirm cari kau punya ni.
Kata polis lembab lah. Itulah, inilah.
Polis Peronda setiap Jumaat 10 malam. Terbaru di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
On to sports now. Football, the 2024 Copa America. Colombia defeated Uruguay 1-0 in the semi-final despite playing the second half with only 10 men to set up a title decider against defending champions Argentina. Uruguay started strongly with their Liverpool star Darwin Núñez having a great chance in the box in the 17th minute but curled his effort inches wide before a scuffed shot. Marcelo Bielsa's side were made to pay for those missed chances when Colombia's Jefferson Lerma rose majestically above Jose Maria Jimenez and powerfully headed home James Rodriguez's corner in the 39th minute. Colombia were then reduced to 10 men just before half-time when right-back Daniel Muñoz saw red for elbowing Manuel Ugarte in the chest. Los Cafeteros, however, clung on in the second half to secure the win and make it 28 unbeaten games, a record in the country's history. Colombia will face Argentina on Sunday, while Uruguay stay in Charlotte for the third-place playoff against Canada on Saturday. Still on football, the 2024 Euros, substitute Ollie Watkins scored a stoppage-time winner to send England deservedly through to their second successive final as they finally turned on the style to beat Netherlands 2-1. Xavi Simons brilliantly put the Dutch ahead 7 minutes into the game when he robbed the ball from Declan Rice before unleashing a powerful shot that sailed past keeper Jordan Pickford. England, however, drew level 11 minutes later after skipper Harry Kane converted from the spot following a poor defence by Denzel Dumfries. With the match looking set for extra time, substitute Ollie Watkins received a pass from fellow substitute Cole Palmer and fired a sweet strike into the far corner to leave the Netherlands completely stunned. Gareth Southgate's men will now face Spain in the final on Sunday as they dream of winning their first major trophy since 1996. And moving on to tennis, at 2024 Wimbledon Championships, 25th seeded Lorenzo Musetti booked his place in his first Grand Slam semi-final with a thrilling 5-set win over Taylor Fritz on Wednesday. The 22-year-old Musetti initially looked like he was being overpowered by the American big hitter, but produced a sublime display of silky all-court tennis to beat the 13th seed 3-6, 7-6, 6-2, 3-6, 6-1. The Italian will now face 7-time champion Djokovic to decide who will get a tilt at the title on Sunday. In the women's action, Elena Rybakina barely broke sweat in swatting aside last year's semi-finalist Elena Svitolina in straight sets. The 2022 champion needed just 61 minutes to complete a 6-3, 6-2 win to set up a semi-final clash with world number 25, Barbara Krejcikova. Farmer remanded over poisoned snacks incident. The details after this short break.
Situasi semakin tegang.
Tolong sekarang ni kes dalam siasatan.
Medan operasi unit gerak khas kini berhadapan dengan cabaran tidak terduga.
Makin brutal suspek-suspek tu pun.
Polis! Serang!
Gerak khas The Finale setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Wanita hari ini. Detik permulaan lembaran baru.
Hijrah mengubah kehidupan.
Menu kerang yang nak macam-macam ada.
Tapi kena betul cara masak dan pengendaliannya.
Kita ni nak bergurau biarlah bertempat.
Jangan anggap semua orang boleh terima gurauan kita.
Jangan biar diri kita teraniaya jadi mangsa keganasan rumah tangga.
Ketahui hak anda dan bagaimana cara untuk terus bangkit.
Salah ke merajuk ke kena berpada-pada?
Dah tu kalau dua-dua merajuk, siapa yang nak pujuk?
Semuanya di WHI TV3
dan stream ditonton. Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
dan stream juga melalui tonton.
Nightline continues. A married couple who are influencers were among 4 people remanded by the Putrajaya Magistrates Court on Thursday for allegedly being involved in the misappropriation of 3 million ringgit in public donations. They were issued the 4-day remand order until July 14th by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin to assist the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC's probe into the case. According to sources, the suspects, comprising 3 men and 1 woman in their 20s and 30s, are believed to have been collecting donations since 2020. However, it was alleged that the donations have been misappropriated as they were not properly channeled to the intended recipients. Aside from the couple, the 2 other individuals are believed to be directors of a fundraising platform. They were all detained between 6:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Wednesday night when they came to give their statements at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya. MACC Investigation Division Senior Director Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hashim, who confirmed the arrests, stated that the case is being investigated under Section 23 of the MACC Act. In Kedah, a farmer has been remanded for 6 days in connection with the case of 2 brothers who consumed snacks laced with rat poison, resulting in the death of one of them. The remand order was issued by Kulim Sessions Court Judge Mirza Muhammed on Thursday to facilitate police investigations into the case. The farmer, in his 30s and a neighbour to the boys, was apprehended in Lubuk Buntar, Serdang on Wednesday. The case is being investigated under the Child Act for exposing a child to danger and the Penal Code for negligent conduct regarding poisonous substances. It was reported that 3-year-old Muhammad Akil Shauki and Muhammad Luth Shauki, aged 2, fell critically ill after consuming the snacks, believed to have been placed on a wire fence surrounding an orchard to deter wild animals near their home in Kampung Padang Ubi, Labu Besar in Kulim. Akil Shauki died on Wednesday morning, while his brother is still unconscious at Pulau Pinang Hospital. And lastly, in Kelantan, a trailer driver was killed when the vehicle skidded and landed on its side in Gua Musang on Thursday. According to police, 27-year-old Muhammad Faiz Tarmizi was pinned under the trailer and died on the spot, while his attendant suffered serious injuries. Gua Musang Police Chief Superintendent Sik Chun Fu said the trailer, laden with scrap metal, was heading to Kuala Krai when the incident occurred at about 7:30 a.m. It is believed that the driver lost control of the trailer while negotiating a bend, causing the vehicle to swerve onto the opposite lane and crash on the roadside. Authorities said that a crane and a backhoe had to be used to lift the overturned trailer to enable firefighters to extricate Muhammad Faiz's body. His body was then taken to the Gua Musang Hospital's forensic unit for post-mortem, while the injured victim was treated at Sultan Ismail Petra Hospital. The cause of the accident is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. Right, as Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look as Estonia's Jan Roos makes history as the first person to cross Italy's Strait of Messina by foot, completing a breathtaking 3.6-kilometre journey along a slack line high above the water. With that, I'm Muhammed. Hamdan. Thanks for tuning in and stay safe.